Hello and welcome to the A-Star ship. My name is Kale and we are hacking on some open source C++ software that you can find at github.com/A-Star Starship /crabs. And the Chinese room abstract stack machine is a data-driven agentic AI framework based on the Chinese room AI thought experiment. So we are very classy, very interesting, and I am plugging in the Matrix math library right now. It's all contiguous data-driven design. So this particular part is going to take a little bit of thought, and like a large percentage of the code is written and it needs to auto grow, and I need to put a little bit more thought into how we're dealing with mutable data. So it seems like with the matrix, like, there's valid matrix operations, and those ones, you got to do the rows times columns things, the dimensional analysis. It has to have the same dimensions. And it seems like once you create the matrix, that's kind of it. It seems like this type of data structure, to me, if you ask me, it doesn't really like lend itself well to resizing. It's kind of like you make a matrix and then like everything's got to match the dimensions. And then if it doesn't, then it just doesn't work because, it's like monoids and groups, and they have symmetry rules, and if you don't have that, then it just doesn't output any sort of useful information. So what exactly do we have going on over here? A not well documented issue ticket, and not too happy about the level of documentation of that issue ticket. I have gotten most of the code to compile, except for this one last little line, and then it's going to require thought put into it. And so the first thought is, how does this get statically allocated? That's a good question. I would like to know that. So matrix, how do I do the boofer? All right. Oh. Woo! Dimensional array of ASCII objects. Data. So this isn't really like how I do this one, which is I allocate the number of elements that I'm statically allocating. And I've been trying to think how I'm supposed to do that. And if you ask me, it definitely seems like maybe I'm going to have to do some const expert magic. All right. So the question is, how the hell am I supposed to efficiently set the number of bytes here? Because this totally is not going to work. The one option that I have is like some template metaprogramming. Like, what could I do? Template, type name, what? What is it saying? See? Like it's even predicting it. K list. What the hell is this? What the hell does this do? But this is like the size of n. And then this is elements. Does that work? Okay, so I mean that was pretty slick that it just like, you know, knew exactly what I was needing there. I don't think that it's supposed to be an is z though. Do I have an is one in this matrix? Is y? Okay, yeah. So the is y is going to be my indexes. So um damn it. Where'd it go? All right. So does this work? Well, the LLM wrote it, so it has to, right? I'm joking. Totally joking. Wait, don't I need like a struct that does this? Or I could do what? Like a so I think maybe what it needs is like a struct feed in. Now this is a tdim c t a t array. I don't really necessarily like that. That's we have something else there. T um tdim. I'm thinking of a name for this function. I mean, it could just be t, right? I don't really have any reason to not do that. because I can change it later. So take this off. All right. And then this is going to be tdim is y. Okay. And then is it static inline or inline static? I forgot. Let's say it is y. Dims. No, because it's in here. This thing, if this chunk of code snippet's working. So I would have had that little chunk of code a while ago. K list. All right. And then so tdim yeah, dims is wait, hold on. I have to wait. Don't I just need to do this? Sorry, I haven't done this in a long time. Is this gonna work? Uh, yeah, does that work? Oh no. Wait, hold on. Wait, it says what? Why would I need that? Right. Wouldn't I just put that here? All right, maybe I'm being in. Hold on, wait. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ask the LLM. I can only visualize so much right now. So it has to be at the end. So what I need tdim. So what do I do? Let's ask the read the spec /data /map types / matrix dot md and oops, what was that? Dot / matrix dot was it MPP and also two and what is it? 17 math core. Okay. Wait. I need that. And I need to create the dimensions with what a variadic list. The right word, right? Um, Variadic template. Variadic template. Templates. Well, I need to convert the variadic template dimension to but bytes to create the buffer. All right, I'm ready for it. Damn. I want to use Gemma 4 with the open code, but um, it's pretty much unusable because it has like a proprietary tool calling thing, or they're using Jinja, which isn't really proprietary, but they're the only ones using it. But I mean, Jinja's definitely what's up for sure. Uh, Surprisingly, nobody else is doing that. Definitely was a good move for sure. But It broke LM Studio. They need a new version of Olama. What do we got? What else is ahead to read? Jen. Maybe I should have fed it an example of how it's I mean, I'm interested in seeing what it pups out without an example. Stack. Hopefully, it just loads up the stack and the um, looks at how I allocated the memory in that. I forgot to add that in there. Where to look for the example code. All right. Well, I'm gonna look for something else that I could work on asynchronously because while I'm waiting for that thing to finish. It's got to be in a different module. This is not a bad idea. The change size to var. What do I need to do to knock that out? Let's look at the BSQ. The parameter number. All right, so where's the size? We need to look for I already updated the spec. I'm gonna go look at the spec real quick. Looking at the spec for what? The B sequence? This doesn't really say anything. I feel like maybe I need like some sort of state machine. This is the thing that you need to feed llama in order to do Gemma for. 5 coding up some DDR5. Because, yeah, I don't know. Why not? Okay, so here's the example of what I need to scan. And so these things are byte encoded, so I'm not scanning text. What about this? So like this string is what, 32 max length? And then first one is like however many elements there are. And what if it's negative? So if it's negative, I'm going to do the variant, um, which tells me that I should probably use a state machine because so how would that look? Right. A param is greater than param number. Okay. Then what we need like a state. So the state is going to be what, parsing number? And then bit shift equals 0. So state is going to need to be described. State init, right? State init 0. State number 1. Well, I mean, I'm scanning. State var in. So RAM number. So num param. Count. Oops. Time. Okay. Param count. F param counts less than 0. Maybe I need to do a word here. Param count. All right, so word would make more sense. No. RAM count equals Do this. F param counts less than 0. Then I need to do what? Okay. So what's the um so if I had it just be like a, so I have 15 bits to work with right now. And then if I loaded up another word, if it was 16-bit, then I could do a 31-bit value, which isn't bad. It makes the logic easy because then I don't have to deal with like assigned bit. I could just say in a B sequence, all you have is up to 31-bit. The problem with that is how do I represent things that are larger than 2 gigabytes in size? There's a variety of ways that I could do that. Number of them would be increasing the complexity of the system itself. So I don't really want to like go too overboard. So the MSB is usually used to store whether or not something's read only in the data type bit pattern. So I can in a B sequence, I can actually remap it. But what does this exactly do? So there's like the string has a pre-allocated uh, strs string max length of 31 because this is the buffer size. Wonder if we got anything to harvest over here from Copilot. Do you want to build the solution? Build it. Go ahead. What do you got? What did it do, const expert? What happened? So this is the one that it added. What am I? What am I just? What did I just say? Keep. What did I do? Huh? What did I do? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just gonna vibe code the whip. I can just undo it, right? Okay, it just did a whole bunch of stuff on me. What did this thing just do? Um, so let's look at this. Is this incredibly ugly? Okay. How does this work? Huh? Okay, this doesn't make any sense. Wait. Okay, yeah, that didn't make any sense. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just cancel that one. So, wouldn't be too bad to just use, make this by hand, figure this out, because I don't think the LLM's gonna do a better job than I could do. This one. Don't want that. Yeah, that was kind of bozo, but whatever. But what am I trying to do? I have a multi-dimensional array. I need to declare it at compile time using some template metaprogramming. And then huh? Do I just do that? Like, where? Damn it. Not allowed. Okay. Wait, don't I need to do like type name dims? Dim. And then I could just do that. And then what does this mean? So the A matrix means it's the auto matrix, meaning that it auto grows from stack to a heap. Translates into something useful. So the dim, this could be, let's do type name. T. And then we'll do uh can I even do what I'm wanting? Not possible. It's a single token sequence. We can achieve iteration using count and select macro dispatch recursive macro expansion. Huh? So what, use a macro preprocessor? I do not want to use any VA args. That's outlawed in my API. So that's not going to happen. Maybe I can't do that. Maybe I'm going to have to do cannot calculate. So I might have to do some sort of like API hack with the I might have to do a different dimension thing for a different number of dimensions. So, what is going on? Still some errors tdim. So, tdim. Where'd this go? Tdim. Is there another tdim? Oh, okay. So here's some things. Yeah, but I can't get the like I can't get the number of bytes out of this with this style. What is dim be? Creates immutable. Okay, so this is the all right. So that is going to be a problem for me. Huh. Another option is that I just don't statically allocate the matrix or to have an audit matrix because it's like requires specific rules in order to grow the matrix. It might help if I just start building stuff with the matrix because I'm just unable to see how the code is going to be used. So that's one possible solution is that I am going to maybe, I mean, I could just switch over to this variant thing and hmm, so one option is I could put in some macros to have the code be different for 32-bit and 64-bit CPUs. And then 32-bit CPUs could load, what do you call it? Would only load one more of these 16-bit data type things, like whatever size, underscore bytes, underscore two. Um, I don't support 16-bit CPUs. It'd be easiest to just have, up to 31-bit long length. So what would you go about doing if I needed to address a block of memory that was larger than 2 GB? I mean, one option is that I could, uh, uh, make a length, um, 2 GB of like an 8 byte type, and then that's going to give me, at least like 8 gigs that I could work with. I don't really like capping it too much, but the thing is 31-bit, sorry, a 32-bit variant converts nice and neat into a 31-bit signed positive value. All right. And then I don't need any extra code. So the params. I mean, first off, we're talking about the length of a B sequence, which having one that long is going to be bonkers. I think everybody's going to be fine with like 2 billion uh, code unit long string. Code unit meaning not necessarily characters, but like UTF-8 characters, like up, or code units up to, you know, that could be like, you know, 500 million characters long at the shortest. Seems okay. So what did I do? Param count, and then do what? Param count. Oops. Okay. So for right now, I'm just going to modify the specification. Wait, no, we're looking for an unsigned warrant. Is C for the BSC? Oh, wait. Boy, this is old, huh? All right. Oh, wait. Oops. So when would I need longer than 2 billion long values? Mm. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm happy now. I just hadn't thought about this that much, but that's a nice simple fix. Um, so I just need to fix the Wait, hold on. Starts with a positive integer. Wait, what about a negative? Okay. So, nested, I do not want to touch nested B sequences. Those are a little bit of a hassle. So where's the, I thought I added the var into here. I don't necessarily like capping the length of the streams, but I mean, I can address, the thing is, with memory, I mean, two gigabyte block of bytes is quite big. But I mean, if I had to address it where I had to allocate 2 billion 32-bit, or sorry, 64-bit values, and then that would be 8 gigabytes. I don't know what to say about that. I have to look at everything. I can't really just say, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." Might be totally stupid. Pre-allocating memory, and then if it's negative, then it's what? I would imagine I would need to say 0. The size would be 0, right? Okay. Uh, all what is it? Numbers and numbers. 255. What is that? Okay, this is not that good documentation. Okay. Number of, that's not true. Bytes code units. Makes more sense. What else do I need to do? So this thing is gonna be, could be like different. str is the default string. And that's going to change based on your operating system. Observed, that is an error. It's an error. I mean, it doesn't seem like it, oh, an error. BSQs may be nested. Let's just call that an error. So what else do I need to do? There's like, I mean, obviously there's arrays, and I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. All right. So what's the plan? What's the plan, man? I am at an hour when he's tuning in. It's a little bit sad. I don't know. I have no idea. YouTube might be throttling the live coders. Like there's only a small handful of people who can succeed because there's just not enough people watching it. I mean, if I ran a business, I might be doing the same thing. Change. All right. So, it seems okay. I don't know why I would want to use a word though. Because I can change this later. It's not like I'm stuck with this permanently. Nobody's even using this API. We're in a good position in that regard. Be nice if the economics were better, then everything would be better. But yeah, unfortunately, the economics are what they are. Free stuff isn't free. Nothing is free. Neither are we. There's no such thing as free will either. There's just choices that are bad, choices that are less bad. Right? At least with an ASCII param count, at least I know I'm gonna be capped at a reasonable amount. Bit shit. ATW. Now, what if this second value was a 0? Yeah, what if the second value was a 0? Yeah, what if the second value was a 0? I mean, it wouldn't do anything. Is that an error? Does it have to be? The param number. So maybe I need to have like a lookup thing for like param or a type has like looking in here, it's like how the hell am I supposed to know exactly what is what? So let's say because there's a lot of different data types that would have pre-allocated things. There's a lot of POD types too. Great. What do I do? Do I need the context type? I don't think I need the context types here. Remapping them probably wouldn't really do me any good because I could remap it in um, another function that wraps this. I think what I need to check is like if the thing has pre-allocated memory. The number, right, like an array. So if I look into A type, A context frame, cache line, I need to do a line. I need to say like A type is pre-allocated, or uh, is POD? All right. So I think what I need is I needed to say is POD. A type is POD. Why do I have that? All right. A type is POD is. We don't actually have an inline into this here, so I'm gonna delete that while I see it. Bool A type is POD. Wait, how did it know that? I was. How did it know that? That is so clever. Oh my god, it knew exactly what I was just about to type. A type is POD. That's hilarious. That's actually pretty impressive, dude. You ask me, I think it goes up to the top, right? What is this? Huh? Oh, I was gonna say, what the hell? A type DSR? Is, hold on. This is signed? Is it unsigned? I think it's signed. The DT, POD total. That's not true. A type POD. It's like a basic POD. It's like a BP. I'm just gonna put BP as BPOD. Total is basic POD. Because there's other POD types in the extended types. Not a whole lot, but there are some. What, core POD type total? Um, core. So the remappable types, these core, we have 24. Is that true? 24 POD types. 4 8-bit, 4 16, 432, 464, and 428-bit data types. And then the rest of them you remap to these PC types, plain context types. What exactly does this say in the types? This stuff kind of hurts my head looking at it, to be 100. I've looked at it a lot. It hurts. POD types. Oh, there's more POD. I mean, does it make sense to say that there's 31 POD types because I can remap 12 of them? Sorry, I said that there was 4 8-bit types. No, there's only 3 8-bit types, actually. One of them's nil, and it has to be that way. The bit pattern actually doesn't work. If I tried to change it and it didn't even work. Just like I wasn't able to map the I wasn't able to properly make a 128-bit hash table with it. So I had to scrap it and use this zeros nil. Doesn't make sense, right? Oh, what is this? This doesn't go here. What is this extended type? All right. It's here. Nobody even noticed. Quietly into the night. Slip it into the spec. Ship it to prod. Vibe code the whip, baby. That's tedious to do that. I could live without having to ever do that again, to be 100% honest. All right, so going back to here. core POD total. Maybe I'll go back to that, to just a POD total. And then we'll just say that I remap the other context types to, what do you call it? Where's those extended types at? Yellow. Takes a while. Do I really need that? I do wish I could make a sequence that's longer than 2 billion, but... Oh, what happened here? Is it glitching? Oh, all right. OBS keeps taking a dump on me. Yeah, I need to make my OBS multicam plugin because OBS keeps glitching, and I think it's tied to how many keyboard shortcuts I have. I think I'm at the limit of what OBS can tolerate. So, I gotta do the A type is POD. Total. Alright. That's ridiculous. True. Okay. There's a lot of other things that are in the extended type. Like these. Sequence. No, this is dynamic. Object, contiguous object. Pointer, 8-bit pointer. Hey, here's some extended mappable types. Type value tuple. That looks cool. I mean, how many other things like that are there, though? Extended standard type. Extended blocks. 16 byte error integer type. I mean, that looks useful. How much? How useful is it? An error object, size with error type. Variable length types. Okay. To be honest, I don't think this necessarily has to be 100% functional. But what happens? I do want it to be good. Um, what do I convert it to a standard type? A type to extended. Don't think that I really want to do that. The DTW type is CTX. Woo! Okay, so here's the variable string length types. I don't think I have the value that I need. Where is that other one? This, the extended standard types. So what I do, EST var length type count. So EST var length type count. What did I just say? Extended standard type var length type count equal what 16? No, 0 is what? Reserve 16. Well, that's sad. That's acceptable. All right. Now, ext type is greater than or equal to variable length. It kind of hurts my head thinking about the variable length types, but A type is POD. What do I need? EST POD type count? And right now, what, it's 37? Hold on. EOCN. Oh man, my head hurts. What is this? Why is there no EOD? 4 byte size with error type? An error object. Error. Error. ER. Error object type. Size with. Oh, ERD. Okay. This is how many? Extended standard POD type count equals what? No. Uh, oh, that's because this thing is error. I don't know if I necessarily want that though. There's 16. Huh? Last, huh? I guess no comment on that one. All right. Okay, and then what about the other, like if it's negative, or sorry, if it's the mappable types? Are there anything else over here? Hold on, is this a pointer? A pointer. A pointer is a POD type. A wild card? What on earth good would that do me? Oh, it's a type value tuple. Okay, sure. But it's like logically, it's not really sorted very well. And then this doesn't really start at a very good number. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I wonder, can I use so what about the DSQ? I need to get to the scan over to the correct thing. Value equals params I. Really? Yeah, why the hell would I do that? That doesn't make any sense, does it? We'll get the bunny a treat real quick. Whew. All right. My brain's a little bit frazzled. It's 10:10. Yeah, does that make any sense? Um, so now I need to check to see if the type. So maybe I need like a type is variable length. How did it know to do that? What does this do? Wait, that's not right. Is that actually a thing? Variable length type counts. Okay. So when it says variable length, do I need to I put the type and then a colon and then, so I read a type, I checked to see if it was variable length. Value. Start. What does that do? Param number? Huh? Start. Okay, so that doesn't really make any sense. Um, it's an array. Single dimension. Okay, this one makes my head hurt. I'm just gonna delete all of this and start over because that's just total trash, dude. Okay, so if a type is varling, what does this do? So a var length. Okay, so this doesn't help me. First off, f is var length. Maybe I needed to say a type var length instead. So var length is going to mean the variable length, and that could be an 8-bit, 16, 32, or 64-bit. The data type is 16 bits, so in order to do a 8-bit or 16-bit, it's just gonna be one of these DTB data type 16-bit. Less than that's far away. That's a P type. No. Uh, which one of these are Varlin? Oh, hurts my head to think about this. This is the point where we're gonna hit an exploding complexity with this. So I just want to like get it to be like the bare bolts because I see the complexity just exploding with all these different things we have to do. That's why I'm like, I don't really like the idea of auto growing a matrix. Seems like auto growing a matrix is a bad idea. There's only specific operations that you could do to it. I mean, concatenating to a matrix. I mean, yeah, it probably makes sense. Yeah, if I'm just concatenating to like a matrix, now that I think about it. But then I have to pre-allocate a certain amount. Is var, and maybe I could do var. So this one I could do um, IUA, 8-bit unsigned integer, var length, and then so the ext type All right, I'm gonna go to bed because this is like extremely mentally taxing to try to think about this. But these two tasks are actually, um, I think they're actually the same tasks. The B sequence and the changing of the B sequence to deal with the matrix. It seems to me like they can both get knocked out at the same time. So fixing the unit test, what does that even mean? In order to progress to the next stage, we have to make my CPU neural net based random number generator. We mean me, the slave. All right, I guess I'm gonna head to bed then. I'll be up early and yeah, hopefully tomorrow I'll be